Yeah, there we go. I'm too lazy to zoom in. I mean, I'm assuming it's fine, like, it's the same size. Nothing's like smaller necessarily. Okay. Although the annoying thing is I only have like my laptop, so I have to like go between chat and this. Yeah, it's a little annoying. Yeah, I could just like read through first for people who don't know. So basically this patch has buff for Splash Shot class, buff for 52, nerf Bamboo, nerf Squelchy, nerf Umbrella, and they forgot to put in the patch notes, but the only special change was Brella went from 180 to 200 on Sorella, which is fine. We talked about this a bit earlier, but T-Tech, it says reduce the amount of time it takes for shot spread, which is like the RNG you have to deal with to return to normal. So basically, if you're standing there painting with T-Tech for a while, your RNG is going to get worse, but like it'll take less time for that to go back to normal. So that's a nice like quality of life thing. It'll be like more accurate, more consistently. 52 basically has the same thing. Extends the amount of time when firing continuously until shot spread reaches its max. So like you can shoot for longer until you reach like minimum like max RNG basically. On top of reducing the time it takes for that to get to normal, so 52 will be more consistently accurate too. So this is just like small stuff, but it'll help them in fights, which is good. Bamboo we talked about. This basically means Bamboo has 14 shots base right now, but this will make it go down to 11. But that's the only change. It'll just mean that Bamboo has like more downtime, and throwing a sub with Bamboo would be more committal. So it'll just have to deal with like more periods of downtime basically, but it'll still like do the typical like one shot you kind of thing, so it's still threatening in that sense. Squelchy roll went from 5% per roll to 8%, which is actually pretty big because that hits the efficiency a bit. I mean, that's a nerf they did in the past with past dualies, so that's not surprising. And they decrease the size of hit detection between normal shots. So basically, Squelchy has like the two modes. When you're standing, there's two reticles and it's less accurate, and when you're turreted or if you do jump tech, it's one reticle, it's more accurate. But basically that makes it when there's two reticles and you're just standing and shooting, the size of the bullets is smaller. They buffed the size of the bullets a long time ago, so I'm assuming it just like undoes that buff basically. So like it'll be less likely if a Squelchy is like painting, it'll be less likely they'll accidentally like hit you and just murder you. So that's good. And Brella's two nerfs, it's a special thing and a damage thing. Decreased damage from each ink pellet from 18 to 16.2. That's just a 10% damage nerf, because a direct right now would be 90, and then you took away 9 damage, so 10% nerf on all the shots. That's kind of notable because you'd like, that means if you hit 3 pellets, that's 48.6. So 2 of those kinds of hits would kill pre-patch, but not post-patch. It's like it nerfs Brella's like kill power a little bit, but that's fine because it didn't get touched in the area which really matters, which is like its stalling ability, because that's one of the best strengths about it. And like it'll still two-shot people. Like if you hit a direct that's like 81 damage, and you just hit like 2 pellets or more, and they still die. So I don't think that's that bad. They didn't touch the ink efficiency, which is the big thing, because at this point they've nerfed the Brella ink efficiency I think like twice. Because back on launch it was 20 shots in base tank. I think now it's 15. So I'm glad they didn't hit that again. And Brella regen on the shield, like the time it takes for it to heal is still the same. So like a smart Brella that knows how to stall will still be fine. Like occasionally they'll miss out on a kill or two maybe because of damage decrease, but like that's a fair change. I didn't read this earlier. Yeah, adjustments to certain weapons are being used often, yeah, based on like zones cut basically. And yeah, CDS was being spammed at next rank, so that's what this is. Adjustments to improve those weapons, the players started using a lot more often to give players more options. I mean, yeah, K-Shot's been getting used, so it's a slight buff, and K52 is the only really notable one here. Yeah, so players are unable to dive into ink on a wall. Oh, so that's like the Booyah Bomb glitch, okay. Oh wait, no, that's version 5.2.2, yeah, and that's it for this patch, yeah. But then again, like the Brella cost for special is 200, so we'll have less bomber shows, which is good. Because Sorella Brella that have won like area cup, there's been the one guy who had like 2 mains of special charge who was literally just spamming bomber shows. Like it'll just nerf that style of play, which is fine. I never went for that because I had a feeling they would nerf it eventually anyway. So that's fine and dandy by me. Is my phone ringing? That's the landline in the background, yeah. No brush buffs, sad and high effort. Again, I think Octobrush is the kind of weapon they won't buff because it's just too strong against casuals, and Ink Brush is in a fine spot. Yeah, CDS will be relevant still. It'll be harder to use. You can't just like haha funny melt people with standing fire. They'll still be like top tier though if you ask me. Just like, again, like diet top tier. Like Because Brella, Bamboo, and CDS were like the top 3 in this game, so like you're just closing the gap between that and other weapons. Yeah, there weren't that many patch notes. Like we talked about that a bit before. So that basically covers it. I forgot to record that second one. Okay, whatever. Yeah, and I think most of it's self-explanatory. It's not really something you can go in the training room and explain until the patch is actually out. Then we can look at like the damage values on Brella. Squelchy, hitbox, stuff like that I can do when the patch is out, but not yet. Yeah, the nerf weapons are gonna stay top tier, but again, it's just like closing the gap between them and like other weapons and options, which is that's fine. Like, I like it when they nerf like top tier weapons to a point where they're still completely usable by people who are good at it. I don't like when they take a top tier and they like burn it to the ground kind of deal. I don't really mind that. It's fine by me. And the slight buffs to K-Shot and 52 are kind of notable. FLC talked about it a bit earlier. He said it's like an indirect nerf to NZAP because if you imagine it ends up fighting a K-Shot or 52 post-patch, like, it's more likely that the NZAP might lose the fight because of the increased consistency on 52 and K-Shot. It's like, that might be relevant, like TC. Also, my god, that's a lobby right there. Alright, got a blob. I hate it here. I have an arrow spray, I guess. Such is life. Kind of an early armor. Oh, you got one burst, oh my god. I prefer the blob takes tower, honestly. I don't know what weapon you are, but I don't want to deal with it if you go up here. No, you didn't. Go up here, that's a good angle. Hello. Oh, hello. Yeah, I don't see a point of burning top tiers to the ground, especially like ones like Brella and CDS, because like say you hypothetically murdered CDS, like great. Now the hold forward weapons literally just play for free, like that's not fun. Same thing with Brella. Like if you remove Brella and CDS and Bamboo completely, then like what's stopping people from literally just playing K-Shot and only holding forward, you know? My aim at this is kind of garbage right now. Wow, please take that. No, he died, okay. Got that long range with 2 subs. Good. Help. Help. But my main's Brella. I mean Brella, which one? Sorella Brella and Tent, basically. Undercover's not good in comp. Maybe Brella's completely outclassed even post-patch. I feel like someone's up here, yeah. I don't think. Yeah, I shouldn't have thrown the torpedo the one way and then committed the other way. That didn't really make sense. Curling rush again, because that's all that weapon does. Good. Kinda risky flank, but he has like a bajillion main power, so if he messes with his aim, I suppose. This guy's gonna drop on me. Okay. Traded. Condor? No, I have 1.5 million on Condor and I don't want to go back. I hate that thing. Thing's boring. Like, if they at least buff the damage on direct for undercover, at least you could do funny torpedo combos, but as long as they have a sub bomb defense, it doesn't even work. So like, what's the point of it? It might not be 1.5, it's like 1.3 or 1.4. It's a lot, because I used to bot it during that one meta. I didn't like it. It's a Brella, so it occasionally got some funny stuff, but like, it's not interesting. It's like really easy to use, as long as you have like smart torpedo, throwing paint effectively, and have awareness, like, it's pretty much free to play. Let's see. Torpedo. Yeah, it's 1.5 million exactly, basically. Never again. Never again. Ugh. I have 1 million on a fair amount of weapons. But also, it varies, because if your weapon paints a lot, you'll tend to have more. Like, I've seen blasters, you have like a bajillion wins, but they only have like 2 million paint, because it just doesn't output that much, versus like a junior, which could get like 1.8k in like a game. $23.10, better lobby. Got a bamboo, K-shot, slosher. They have 3 players. Uh-huh. Dang, it actually looked like a well-balanced game too. Sucks. Big hitbox. The other way. Silly K-shot, he's on the ramp. Roll torpedo. That's gonna save. Okay, I wish I was immune to damage. Thanks. It's not even sparks, like what? Watch this bank shot. That was not a bank shot. I should have ult. I got 2 shot, but I held forward into a K-Pro, so that's what I deserve. Instead of playing an angle like a smart individual, but it's a 4v3, so naturally people get lazy, including me. they're up here somewhere. Bank shot? Nah. Someone there, what am I doing? What do we got? Generous. Hello, lemons. Yeah, notes dropped. It's like slight nerfs to top tiers, little buffs to probably like a high tier weapon like K-Shot and like an okay weapon like whatchamacallit. 52. Why did I like my mind on 4 hours of sleep is just it either goes from step 1 to step 7 or it goes from like step 1 to like step 2 and like way too long. You're playing this rotation? It's pretty good, honestly. I'm a fan. Yeah, that's the one part. But I think these are like 2 pretty decent TC maps. I like Map to TC, it's probably one of my favorites. The one with like Anchovy. It's okay to forget about 52. It counts as like decent. But again, it's like a roller. If you're interacting with cats of 52, you're gonna explode. So don't do that. Just ignore it. Lame it out, paint over it, bomb it. Don't walk into it. We'll just get 2-shot. Yeah, Bamboo lost 3 shots on the base tank. So from 14 to 11 without any efficiency. Which is notable. But the main idea of how the weapon plays is functionally the same, which is fine. Still very strong, gonna punish people for holding forward and standing in enemy ink, that kind of deal. Still a lightweight weapon, got decent kits. Combos with literally anything. Sorry, just like not finding lobbies today. Strange. You recently Bamboo has wider shots on other chargers? Yes, it does. Yeah, they nerf Brell's damage by 10%, but like that's okay. They didn't nerf the stalling, which is what matters to me. Yeah, I'm thinking this lobby's kind of cursed, so no, not that. I'm looking for video game player. I'm still tired. Our CDS change is noteworthy. It has more downtime, and the standing fire having smaller bullet size is pretty notable. Oh, I see. That's never happened actually. I usually get away with that just fine, but I guess I don't know. Or any of them noteworthy. It's just like, again, they don't kill the weapons. It just makes it like more in line with other weapons. So it's fine. Don't like shouldn't be killing interesting weapons like CDS and Brella. Because if he killed and removed those weapons, and again, people will just like play stuff like K-Shot all day. Well, 5 minutes, huh? And granted, I wasn't gonna go that much longer anyways. But I guess it gives us an excuse to go into the training range. Why'd I hit lobby by instinct? Why did I do that? Confused about the splash shot changes, I'll explain it since there's nothing else to do. Gear doesn't matter for this. K-shot. Yeah, it just makes it harder to use, but that's fine. Okay, so basically, the way shooters work in this game is like, say you don't shoot at all, like the accuracy will be good. Right, that's a clean 3 shot, but like say I just like shoot for a while and don't stop. And try and do the same thing. Like you notice how like it took a bit longer for the third bullet to connect? Because there's like more variance on how it shoots. Basically, there's like a maximum minimum RNG you can reach at a point. And what the K-shot change does, it makes it so it returns to like a default state with like normal accuracy more quickly. And 52 has like a similar idea, but in addition to that, it takes longer when shooting to reach like that minimum RNG state. But like meanwhile, say like you're on like a fresh thing, you haven't shot like any bullets and like you'll consistently 2-shot, it just makes it easier to consistently 2-shot. In essence, and for K-shot to get 3 shots. So this is like a main weapon quality of life buff is all it is, yeah. Nothing like groundbreaking, but it makes more consistent, which is good. Brella change is just I have 200 special on this now, and then 10% damage nerf. So like instead of 9, like instead of like 1 pellet's like, God, Brella's like so weird. That's the fall off, I guess. God, this I want to show damage values, but like I'm literally not even moving this. Like that's 16, and then it's like this weapon's so like weird and inconsistent. But basically, 1 pellet does 18 damage. So direct is 90, so they nerf the damage by 10%. So that'll be 81 post-patch. And that'll make it worse at contesting certain things and doing like lower damage across the board to stuff like Rainmaker Shield. Like, Rainmaker Shield takes 5 shots for Brella to break now, it'll be 6 post-patch. So that's like one example of a number. That and like at mid-ranges. Yeah, that's RNG though. Like, how's that 83 gonna swap them, dude? Show with Aerospray. Aerospray's got like... Aerospray at peak accuracy is still just like wild. It's 6 shots to reach worse RNG and 46 frames to return. So it's just like less cooldown time until you get better RNG, which is good. So it's just like, it's like small little buffs. Yeah, like I don't think it'll be that bad. Like there'll be times where I miss out on kills on Brella post-patch, I'm sure, and I'll get less bomb rushes a game, but like this shouldn't have been 180 in the first place. It's been like meta defining for so long. And you had people spamming special charge builds in Zones Cup, or Area Cup, same difference. I mean, that's fine. Where's the thing? Actually, I have main save, so let's not. Just let me take that off. Let's put like QR. Four pallets with bump doesn't kill anymore. It shouldn't, because that's 64.8 and then it'd be 90. Yeah, you would miss out on that. Granted, at that kind of range, if you're shield bumping someone, that feels unlikely, because a lot of the time, like, if you're hitting that damage value, it's either bad aim and CQC, or it's unlikely you'll bump them because you're at a farther range anyways. So, like, it sucks, but, like, I don't think it'll be like that bad. Like, it's not common to get shield switch kills anyways, unless you hit 90 damage on someone like point blank. Cause like, where is it? I wish there was an easier way to sort this. Where the heck? Because say you're sitting at that range pre-patch. God, there's a lot of random things. Like, say you're sitting at that range anyways, like, if you're hitting that damage value, like here, or like here, like, you're not gonna squish them. They should not be, like, running into you at these kinds of ranges. Like, that's not really, like, it sucks, but that's not realistic. Like, even post-patch, like, if you're hitting 81 on someone, like, you need to be so close to shield squish someone, like, this is not that big of a hitbox. This is like half a line of range, so like I don't think that's really a big deal. Like unless the person's literally like holding forward into you like this and diving onto your shield like that shouldn't be happening that much this patch anyway. Like there's more like stuff like that. So I don't think that's like a big deal. Is it a nerf? Yeah, but like whatever, I guess. I just want to. Maybe we'll get an armor nerf, I don't know. Just happy Brella's still viable. So, right now it's 5% per roll for CDS. It's like 1, 2, and I want to like do the jump tech. Like that's like 19 rolls, and I don't have any efficiency on right now, right? Like that's kind of absurd. Like even if you're throwing bullets in the mix, like this is kind of dumb. Like this is like basically no ink, right? Like this is no investment at all pre-patch. Like that is like this is like way there's like no downtime on this. So like post-patch, instead of this being 10%, that's like 16% in itself. So like that's pretty notable because there'll be more times when you're running out of ink. And like say this patch, like right, you throw a bomb, you shoot for like a little bit, but say this patch you throw a bomb and like roll twice, like you don't get that many bullets. Like post patch, if you do that, if you like throw a bomb and roll twice, like you're gonna barely get any bullets at all. When does patch go live? Is it tomorrow night? I don't remember. I think it's tomorrow night. And then the other thing for CDS is the hitboxes on these will be smaller post-patch. This will be the same, and this will be the same because it's a single reticle, so it counts as being like rolled. But like the standing bullets will be smaller. It's like I'm aiming like this, like it's not gonna be that good. Or as good when the patch drops. Yeah, CDS is still less post-patch than dually, yeah. Because post-patch is going to be 8% per roll, but normal dually is 9%. The difference is, with CDS I can understand that, because CDS is going to be using this to fight a lot more post-patch, because this is, like, standing and doing this is going to be so much worse post-patch because of the bullet size. It's like, post-patch, good CDSs are going to need to, like, roll to get, like, better accuracy and bigger hitbox. It's like, that'll be more important, so I can understand that. But if you compare it to, like, a dually like this, like, dualies don't really roll mid-fight unless they're just, like, gonna turret something or they're trying to get out of range of something. You know, like dually can still stand and like melt someone like the same. Like it's not that much better in roll. Like it's one reticle, it's more accurate, yeah, but it's not like this is significantly worse than this to a point where you're gonna have to use this on every fight. It's not like some extreme case like Luga, where like Luga, like this is terrible. Like no one does this. This is awful. No one fights like this. Luga always just commits to being turreted to get like 2 shots on people. Because the standing fire is that bad. I think it's gonna be like a similar thing with CDS, where like if they nerf the bullet size that badly, then like you're not gonna fight people with this, like, or not that much. Like sure you'll get away with that on like slow clunky weapons like Dynamo probably, but like if you're fighting like an actively moving player, like like this is probably not gonna cut it as much. So like it sounds weird, but like I think the 1% difference between the dualies isn't good. Like that, I think that makes sense. Because I think the dualies, I think these used to be like 6% per roll, but now it's 9%. And okay, here's the thing about it, on top of that, you have to keep in mind is they made it 9%, yeah, but a few patches ago they made dualies more ink efficient as a whole. It's like dualie can actually, it's actually pretty ink efficient now if you don't like consider the rolls amount. Like it can paint for quite a while before running out of ink, and they buffed the paint on it too a while ago. Like that's a good amount of stuff to get down without like any investment. And like that was a buff to K dualie efficiency, because like say you like throw a bomb, right? Like obviously it's a bit of a commitment to throw the suction still, but like it's not like the worst thing in the world. Why didn't Carbon get buffed? I'm gonna give you one reason Carbon didn't get buffed. One quick reason Carbon did not get buffed. Need to like delay that more, but vertical flick is why this weapon is not getting buffed. They like vertical flick on the right hands is like actually busted. Like you sit like so close, like under a ledge, and like someone's just like standing there, and they'll be like, oh, whack. Like Carbon's gotten buffs in this game already, but they're not like game-changing buffs. Yeah, I don't have any main power, and I'm not good with it. Like better Carbons will like consistently hit higher damages like that. Like that's still a pretty decent amount of damage. Like they gave Carbon other buffs, like they made it more ink efficient by default, which is good for the deco specifically because it uses burst to move so much. But is it really that wild to want Carbon to be broken again? I played Carbon in spot 1 and like I'm okay with it not being good in this game, honestly. Like I don't, it's not bad. It's not an easy weapon anyways to just like use because the horizontal hitbox is not great. It's like I'm fine with where Carbon is, honestly. Like you give it like a little bit of a buff, but like I don't know. I don't mind it in the state it's in that much. It's more problematic that the deco doesn't really have an actual special more than anything. The vanilla is kind of awkward because like cool Audubon pokes, but it has like no like real approach tool. So that's just like kits being awkward. Because a lot of weapons have that where they're good weapons, but the kits are just like awkward or not great or something like that. Does Carbon deserve a buff? I'd buff other weapons before Carbon, honestly. The Carbon get like a little something, but I don't know. Like I kind of like where Carbon sits because if you're a master with vertical, it feels like so ridiculous in the right context. Range Blaster definitely deserves a buff, but again, I equated to Smash 4 Jigglypuff. They just refused to, which is funny. Or so sad if he played it, but like I was a casual in spot 1 and I knew CRB was busted. I played that. And I was like, wow, this weapon's crazy. Like, I didn't know anybody. Like, I literally just, like, saw people using it online. I'm like, I'm gonna try that. And I tried, like, Special Saber, like, Depletion Kraken with QR, and I'm like, whoa, like, this is dumb. So I don't know, maybe the devs are just, like, afraid of it. Who really knows? Because range is also in a weird spot. Because CRB on paper could have a good kit, but like it's not on the right weapon, so that's just like a shame. Like it has a quick pop combo, but it can't paint for the special even though it's so cheap, so that sucks. Range Blaster used to be better with how the healing worked back then. But like Suction's just like too slow for it and it takes so much to throw, and 200 rain, like it should not have a 200 rain. That's like not necessary at all. But such is life. And the problem with Grim is the efficiency is so bad, like the strength of Grim is killing, right? Like, you combo people. Like, cool. Awesome, right? But then you remember, doing this alone, like, even trying to kill someone and do the combo, that's like half your ink tank out the window already. So, like, say you do that and they're, like, almost dead and you're like, oh, like, well, now I'm down half my tank. So, like, you might do, like, this, get a weak hit and you throw a burst, and it's like, okay, cool, and then, great, now you're stuck in, like, a bunch of downtime for several seconds. It's like, I don't know, it's like there's a cool combo there, but it's so committal to even try. And then it's like, okay, you could do that, or you could just play a weapon that combos better and has other strengths. Like, wow. Like, cool, you have AoE on Grim, I guess, but like the strength of that is just not worth it. Like, I don't know, I think it'd be cool if they buff the ink efficiency of stuff like Range Blaster by default, and like maybe had a little less white ink, that might be cool. But like, I don't know. It's just like there's not really a reason to use Grim right now unless you're like a literal god, but still, it just hasn't been good for ages. And RB feels like the kind of weapon you just play in like League for fun, and you're like, haha, look at the kills I'm getting, and then you start getting oppressed by people who are good at the game, and you're like, oh, this thing sucks. It's like one of those weapons. You want to burst 96? That's never happening. Like, they'll never give a gal like a lethal bomb, I don't think, and if they do, it'll be really notable if it does. Like, they're definitely intentionally not giving high damage shooters bombs because they know what they can do if you do that. And you're probably thinking like, oh, but like main power K-Pro, like, yeah, but that's like an investment to do that. This thing's ink efficiency is like awful. Like, I don't think they'll ever give a Gala bomb. Not like, I doubt it. Maybe like an auto bomb, I don't know. Whatever they do in the next game of subs. Yeah, burst missile is a great kit on paper, but range is just like, it can't paint for missile, it's horrible ink efficiency, it takes like half your tank to even try and kill someone effectively, like, it's just pain. You want RB to keep accuracy while jumping? I think that's a fair buff. Or even if it's not perfect accuracy, just like in general, because like, this is just depressing. Like, look at the reticle for this, like, great, awesome. Now jump. Oh, look at that, it tripled. Okay, it went forward. It went left. It went right. It went forward. It went left. It went forward. Like, that's so bad. Like, having good jump accuracy is actually so privileged, and like, they buffed weapons in ways that clearly demonstrate that. Like, think like Splash-O-Matic and H3, like, they added that to those in this game, like, Splash has perfect accuracy while standing, but they added the jumping thing. Like, Splash can literally just like see someone and be like, oh, like perfectly. Like, if he misses literally on you, the aim is like, accuracy is like absolutely perfect. It's like, that's cool, that's satisfying. Or like they added to H3 and that's like, that was like right before H3 picked up a lot, because like H3 before was like, okay, well it's like clunky and you have to stand still to do that, because it would like kind of waver before. But now it's just like, oh, perfectly accurate. That's a massive buff. They made it a lot more notable. So I don't know, like stuff like that matters a lot in this kind of game. Like, think... So... Like, Brella has RNG naturally, but like jumping doesn't influence this, like the reticle's the same. Like, jumping might affect the hitbox a little bit, but like... You know, it's not like I'm gonna jump and this goes like all the way sideways, right? Like, my Brella shot's never gonna be like, I jump and then it goes like whack. Like, no, like that'd be awful. I would hate that. Especially because Brella does stuff like you can fight people and like jump, it'll be fine. Like, if Brella had like bad jump accuracy, that'd be so bad, because like you'd be fighting someone and you can't just like jump as a mix-up and shoot, because it would just like fly off to the side and it'd be terrible. I would hate it. Yeah, Squeezer has perfect accuracy as well. So that's another good example, well, at least on like tap shotting. But yeah, that's like another, that's cool, because like a Squeezer could literally just be like sharking and like a common example with Soldier, especially, it's like on like Camp Triggerfish, like you'll see like a charger peek the wall, he'll be like sharking here, and be like, oh, because you outrange like pro, because especially like during the K-Pro meta, like people are used to K-Pro ranges, like Squeezer's a bit more than that though. It's like, cool, that's that. Like, it's a little bit more, but like it gets the jump on people if you really have used the perfect accuracy. And like Pro doesn't have perfect accuracy while jumping. Like this is good, but like if you jump with K-Pro, like this is like, look how wide this gets. It's not the worst thing in the world, but like it's definitely worse. Does undercut have accuracy or RNG? It's the pellets do like no damage, so if you have a bad roll on the pellets, it's just like no damage basically. Like they buffed it to make it more consistent at one point, but like that's like the max damage you'll ever do. But the problem becomes like okay, cool, in the training room it's like, oh, you know, I'm hitting a lot of 40s, but then you fight an opponent that moves And then you start getting like the weird shots, like you start hitting like these damage values, and these, like, that's so bad. Like that's like a 5 or 6 shot, assuming they don't just ignore you and run away and heal. Like this is depressing. Like obviously I'm aiming high, but that's like to simulate if someone's moving, because you can't really track with this. Because like look how slow the shot is. Yeah, it would be fine if they give RB like jumping accuracy. I think that'd be a fair buff. .96 versus squeezer range. I think they're pretty similar. So you can have fall off without a squeezer, but the problem is like comparing these, like the accuracy on 96 is some trash. I think squeezer's a little bit more like, I don't. It'd take a miracle to hit like the RNG at this range, but like even like standing. Yeah, squeezer has more because I don't think it's possible to hit fall off here. But squeezer can hit fall off easily while jumping. Yeah, squeezer has more. It's like, what is this, like 1, 2, 3, 4 lines, basically a little more for squeeze on fall off hits, but fall off on 96 is inconsistent, but it's a lot of damage even with fall off. Like this is like no main power, by the way, but like 40 damage for a fall off shot, that's pretty nutty. Like assuming you have main power, like those are like some chunky bullets. I've gotten kills like that with 96s for fun. It's kind of like the dynamo thing where like someone's behind a wall and you like do this. And then, you know, sometimes we'll just miss like that and you're like, oh, I love this weapon, but then sometimes you do this. And it's like, wow, they just took like 70 damage. But sometimes it just does that. Great. I might be aiming too high. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I felt like I was aiming the same way. No, that's definitely in the range, hold up. This weapon, dude. Sometimes they die. Sometimes they don't. This weapon, dude. I like Dynamo, but man, that like that's gotta be painful. Like, you know, sometimes that just kills. Sometimes it's just like, what opponent? I don't. No one's there. Yeah, that's funny though. I don't know. You guys have any other like question in regards to the patch? I'm probably just gonna like snip this in the earlier part into one video and put it on YouTube separately from the rest of the VOD. If you have additional question, go for it, because I'm probably gonna end stream. Yeah, I think Dynamo's fun. Inconsistent but fun. I'm not going to bed despite being on 4 hours of sleep now. There weren't enough changes for you to have more questions, I suppose, about the changes themselves, but there's other stuff like how it'll impact meta, what I think they'll be of, like that kind of thing, I don't know. You can chase a second checkpoint on Manta really hard with like K-Rapid and K-Mac for sure. RCD's gonna do less than 99.9 because the main saber people not care. Good ones probably won't care. I think the 3 shot's still worth it. You just have to be more careful about your efficiency and roll your bombs list. Is Bamboo gonna switch to YouTuber? Absolutely not. People are saying main save is necessary? Nah, it's just an overreaction. Like, just get used to ink efficiency nerfs. Like think Brella. Brella used to be 20 shots base, now it's 15. Like, I got used to it. I used to run like 2 main, 2 sub or something main save, but like I went down to 1 main, 2 sub and I got used to it. It's just a matter of like, it feels weird at first, but eventually we'll get it down to a point where like it won't be as problematic. You just have to be more careful about your engagements and remember that your absolute top tier auto spacing privilege isn't just 5% now. I'm so sorry. It's like I'll have to get used to the damage values on this when it comes, but I don't know if I'll see. I don't know, I think that's like an overreaction. I think it's fine. Let's see who's on. Because I'll probably just like splice those two parts of the VOD. Same for Bamboo. Yeah, like they might run like enough to get one of the 3 shots back if it's like 2 sub or something, but Denaball's digging into your value subs, which might be a bit iffy, but it depends. Like, we'll see what they do. There's quite a few people streaming. Where are we going?